We just told you about that shooting at the University of Nevada, Las Vegas. We are now hearing from President Biden himself in a statement. I want to bring in our White House correspondent, Mike Memoli, who is standing by with more on that. It looks pretty lengthy, Mike. I'm just looking at it here. Talk us through it.
Yeah, that's right, Hallie. This statement is not just about the most recent shooting incident in Las Vegas, but also what we were covering overnight, the shootings in Austin, Texas. The president once again thanking first responders for their quick response, saying he and the First Lady are mourning with those who are now grieving the loss of a loved ones. But then we saw in this long statement, as you point out, him pivot to the issue of gun safety, one that has been a top priority for his administration. And I'll read you now some of what the president says in this statement. He said, "This year alone, our nation has experienced more than 600 mass shootings and approximately 40,000 deaths due to gun violence." The president going on to say that for all the action we have taken since I've been president, the epidemic of gun violence we face demands that we do even more, but we cannot do more without Congress. Republican lawmakers must join with Democrats in Congress to ban assault weapons. That has been the rallying cry from President Biden from the moment that he signed that bipartisan piece of legislation, a rare bipartisan piece of legislation and a breakthrough on the issue of gun safety after the Uvalde massacre. As he was signing that bill, the president calling for more action on the assault weapons ban, something, of course, he signed into law, or he helped pass when he was a senator, and saw that expire. And it's going to be a big part of his campaign message. The president just returning a few moments ago, Hallie, from a fundraiser here just a few blocks away, where he once again seized on Donald Trump as well and talked about him as a threat to our democracy.
Ma'am, then when you look at what the president has said over the course of the time he's been in office, when you look at where this statement is right now and the issues that he brings up, there is obviously a nexus to what's happening on Pennsylvania Avenue on Capitol Hill. And while the president is calling for legislative change here and has called for that, you point out the important reality on the ground of that, which is very little appetite. And I wonder if that even becomes less of an appetite as we head into a critical campaign year.
Yeah, that's right. When you think about the array of issues that the president will be campaigning on, first and foremost, what we've been hearing from the campaign at this point in a very early stage in their advertising has been about the president's economic record, right? Talking about the pieces of legislation that he signed into law that have made things like prescription drugs a little bit more affordable. That obviously will continue to evolve over the course of the campaign. And advocates for stronger gun safety measures have really taken the initiative over the last few years to put this front and center as a voting issue itself. They think that this is a particular winning issue in battleground districts, in suburban areas. But we've seen crime and public safety also emerge as a key Republican talking point, one that's also been successful in some local races as well. So it will be interesting to see this as it plays out over the course of the campaign. One thing I should mention, Hallie, as well, as it relates to the president's statement on the shootings overnight and today in Las Vegas, the president was actually scheduled to travel to Las Vegas. At this point, the White House has not indicated whether that trip will go on as planned. It was part of what was supposed to be an economic-focused event. Perhaps now he will use that visit to maybe meet with some of those who have been affected by the shooting as he travels further west also for some fundraising as well, Hallie.
And Mike, our eagle-eyed viewers may notice that at the bottom of the screen, it now reads, as we are getting some new reporting in, that sources are confirming to NBC News that at least 3 people have been killed, according to what we are learning here at NBC News. That had been a question, as you may know, earlier in the broadcast. The sheriff had confirmed that there were 3 victims. The extent of their injuries were unknown, but obviously this is a deadly shooting. We will expect to hear more from police in just a couple of hours, just about 90 minutes from now. You'll watch it here live on NBC News Now when we hear from officials on that. Mike Memoli, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.